Okay, this is question 35 and 36. This is from SAT number 14. And we have another set of paired questions here. So let's dive in. 35 says, one of Sumner's central claims in passage 2 is that the Kansas-Nebraska Bill had the effect of. So because this is a paired question, what we want to do is we want to start at 35, and we're going to go through the answer choices for 36. And we're going to go through each one of these, and we're going to look for an answer choice that can answer our question. So specifically, we're going to look for an answer choice that will tell us what Sumner says, right, about the Kansas-Nebraska Bill's effects. We're looking for an effect of the Kansas-Nebraska Bill. We'll look for any of those texts that will answer that, and then we'll use that to figure out what our answer is for 35. So for 36, A, 45 through 46, that's our first one. It says it was a swindle, and here he was referring to the bill. It was a swindle of a broad territory, thus cheated of protection against slavery. And this does tell us something directly about the Kansas-Nebraska Bill. One issue I have with it is that it doesn't tell us so clearly what the effect would be. It just tells us what it is. From what it is, we could derive an effect, right? We could say, and because of this swindle, maybe it had this effect, and make a connection there if we have to. But honestly, it's not clearly on the surface about an effect. So we could keep it, but I wouldn't consider it to be too strong unless we don't have another one that's stronger. 58 through 61 says, amid overflowing professions of regard for the sovereignty of the people and the territory, they were despoiled of every essential privilege of sovereignty. So here, we're still talking about the bill, right? Its character, the bills. So amid overflowing professions of regard for the sovereignty of the people in the territory, they were despoiled of every essential privilege of sovereignty. So what it's basically saying here is the bill made promises, right? Or proponents of the bill often talked about the giving sovereignty to people in the territory. That's the point of it. And he's basically saying, despite what they said, they were despoiled or robbed, or they weren't given the privileges of sovereignty that they were promised, right? And he goes on to say that basically the federal government in Washington had to appoint all these things. He gives examples of what he means. And so this does tell us about the bill, and it does tell us about an effect. It tells us that the people in the territory were despoiled of the privilege of sovereignty. So this could also work. So far we can keep both of these. 72 through 76 says, suffice it to say that slavery is in itself an arrogant denial of human rights, and by no human reason, etc., etc. This really doesn't have anything to do with the Kansas-Nebraska Bill. This is more so someone making a point and making his case about what slavery is. For that reason, we can eliminate C because it's not directly about the Kansas-Nebraska Bill, especially compared to A and B, which are. D says 78 through 83. I do not retain here. And, sir, to this conclusion you must yet come, unless death, not only to the admonitions of political justice, but also to the genius of our Constitution, under which no valid claim for slavery can be set up anywhere in the national territory. This is talking directly to the legislators who was saying you come to this conclusion, no valid claim for slavery can be set up. What he's not doing is talking directly about the Kansas-Nebraska Bill, not characterizing it or really giving an effect of it. So for that reason, we can also eliminate D, which means we're going to leave with A and B. A, again, just describes the Kansas-Nebraska Bill as being a swindle of bad territory, whereas B really gives us more of an effect. I'm actually going to put more weight on B being our potential answer because it more directly gives an effect of the bill. And just looking at B again, it says, amid overflowing professions of regard for the sovereignty of the people in the territory, they were actually despoiled of every essential privilege of sovereignty. So let's see what answer choices could match that, and if not, maybe something could match this answer choice here. So A says that the Kansas-Nebraska Bill had the effect of disrupting the balance of authority between slaveholding and non-slaveholding territorial government. And as we see, in the passage, but really nowhere in any of the texts we just looked at, is this talk about the balance of authority between slaveholding and non-slaveholding territorial governments. We talked about it. We'll talk about the balance or the imbalance that's there. So for that reason, because it's not even addressed, let's get rid of A for sure. B says that the bill had the effect of depriving a federal policy that enjoyed widespread popularity over its legitimacy. Now, if you think deep, if we think into it a little bit more, maybe we could see how this would fit out there, right? Because the bill, maybe we're saying, okay, so someone says there's a federal policy about believes there should be a federal policy about which would be the Missouri Compromise, and it enjoyed widespread popularity, but then this bill is depriving it of it. However, just on its surface, there's nothing about this, right? There's really no federal policy that's mentioned clearly or explicitly in the text that we looked at or in the passage. And nowhere does Sumner describe such a policy as enjoying widespread popularity, right, of its legitimacy. He doesn't talk about that. And then he doesn't directly say that this bill is depriving such a federal policy. So because we could make a story or a connection, we can make it plausibly make it. Because it's not on the surface, that's not a really good answer to we should eliminate. The C says that the bill had the effect of disenfranchising citizens in territories where the Missouri Compromise could yield more obvious benefits. Now, this sort of matches, we have to be careful with this one because it matches text that comes after, right? So I don't know if I have it here. He does talk about the Missouri Compromise, and if you understand it, basically he's saying, um, I'm trying to find exactly where it is, um, but he does say that basically the Missouri Compromise, basically the Kansas-Nebraska Bill, it's up in the beginning. Let me see. I think it's not a part that I put, but basically he says that it was the South swindling the North, and basically the South enjoyed the benefits of the Missouri Compromise, whereas the North didn't. And now this bill, so after the South enjoyed it, now this bill is a swindle again. So the North is not getting any benefit, and the South getting all the benefit. So this could be disenfranchised citizens. The problem is that the only citizens um, where citizens in the territories were very compromised with no obvious benefits would seem to be like they were talking about people living in northern states, but then those are states and territories. He doesn't really make the claim too clearly that there's some territories where there's very compromised with no obvious benefits, and he doesn't really make the case that citizens are being disenfranchised. So it's not a very strong choice. It's a little confusing about what it would mean, and it's just not mentioned clearly. So we can eliminate that for now. And let's look at D. D is our last option. And D says the bill gives the impression, right? Or sorry, the bill had the effect of giving the impression that the rights of citizens in certain territories were being expanded when in fact they were being curtailed. And this actually really closely matches this answer choice B from 36, where it says amid overblown professions of a regard for the sovereignty, right? Or giving the impression that the rights of citizens in certain territories were being expanded, they were actually despoiled of every essential privilege of sovereignty, or they were in fact being curtailed. So for that reason, we should choose answer choice B, question 35, and answer choice B for question 36.